that's what it is. Although it is my specialty passion type of thing, and that's why the Education Center asked me to do the talks, because I have the profound knowledge, and I'm not a profit oriented. This is not me trying to sell something. So, but I think people are drawn to me for my healing energy. I had somebody read my hand one time and they said I was a master healer and I should teach other healers. And, I'm the type of person, I just try to live my life. Maybe I should go try to find that fifth dimension and live in it, but I just live a peaceful, happy life with nature. And so people are drawn to that. And when they come here, they leave and they always feel better, either with crystals or essential oils. I use those too, or discussing and going into a meditative state and trying to figure out where the pain's coming from, type of thing.
Yeah. Are there certain crystals that are, because on the vibrational properties of it, are there certain crystals that are more benefit to certain ailments? So let's say, for example, you're talking about grief there. Are there certain stones or certain crystals that work better with that, with the subtlety of the energy to help with that?
Oh, absolutely. So they all have a different vibration. And I tell people they grow in the ground. They're not inert. They actually move and grow in, like cubed properties. Like this is a celestite, which is a stone that is said to raise you to the angelic realm of vibration. But this is nature. This is how they grow. So they're not just sitting there like a piece of dirt. So we know there's movement there. There's movement there. And, Tesla says that they're a being. He said, we don't know the nature of this being, but nevertheless, the crystal's a being. And I'm assuming he's talking about their properties for collecting atoms and growing as they do. So they all have a different vibration. I tend to think it's kind of on a similar scale that kind of goes up and down, because you have some crystals that are very excited, a lot of energy, like you don't want those in your bedroom. And then you have some that are very calming and loving and gentle. And I tend towards the calming and gentle stones. And so, yes, for grief, there are loving, gentle stones that I recommend all the time.
All right. So, this is one of the things that, I find is fascinating, is that the difference of stones, which you can, utilize and stuff like this. This is what I want to pick your brain on it, because there are so many different stones out there and so many different properties. And I really loved how you talked about the subtlety of it. And the kind of like they have just two, like there's like active stones and kind of like passive stones.
Kind of. They're all a higher vibration than us. And if someone comes to see me and we go around looking at stones and I'm showing them stones just to introduce them, we both get high. It's almost like we had caffeine or something from touching them all. So even if you're on a lower scale, it's still a higher vibration than you. But I don't know if it resonates differently. I just know what I feel. And like you said, there's no wrong or right here. It's not that difficult. It shouldn't be that difficult. And it shouldn't be concrete, because something might help someone in one way and not help another in the same way. You just have to use your intuition with it. But I know what my common findings are with certain stones. I do know that.
Okay. Yeah. Like one of the things I was curious about too, as well, why are we drawn to certain stones and not others?
Well, I tend to think it's to one of two things. Either you're enamored by the color and beauty of it, right? You don't have your energy turned on to be feeling energy. If you do have it turned on and are more open-minded, you're drawn to the energy. You say people of similar vibrations are drawn together. And I think it's the same with stones. I think you're drawn to what you need, in terms of vibration. Did you see the show on carnelian when I spoke about people reacting to carnelian?
No, I didn't see that one. I just saw the last one just recently, where you talked about, again, it was basically this topic, and you talked about, what was it, labradorite and black tourmaline and all these other stones too.
Yes.
Or ocean jasper. There were certain ones that you were really attracted to.
Yes, those are my favorites. But I'll tell you about carnelian. And this is a carnelian.
Okay.
That's a little bug or pocket. It's an agate, and it comes in colors of red, orange, different colors. I brought a couple.
Okay.
I was thinking of my most important stones. I wanted you to see that.
Perfect. So what does that particular stone do? So again, I'm pretending like I don't know anything about stones. So
Perfect. So I can tell you, these are all carnelians, and this is a little carnelian egg.
That's
It's better
beautiful.
to use smaller stones for meditation or I think just to get the energy, if you want to just sit there for a while with one. What I usually let people know too is that, stones, you can get 10 books and find 10 different things on carnelian. They're never concrete enough for you to say, okay, I believe I know that. I have geologists that don't know properties that they should know sometimes, but they're all different to different people. But carnelian is known to order your mind, and it's for work. You get everything in order. And to me, it was always like a work stone, like a more working stone, as opposed to easy energy or high energies. It was a worker stone, which I'm not really attracted to because I'm OCD anyway. I overthink everything anyway. I don't need any more of that. So unbeknownst to me, I still was drawn to it because I had it everywhere. And I had 3 different people that didn't know each other come to my house. One was suffering the loss of a fiance, not death. He left her at the altar 2 weeks before the marriage. Another one was an alcoholic, depressed, kind of still in that mode. And another one had been on, I believe, crack or crystal meth and was sober, getting sober off of everything, and was sober, I think, 6 months at the time. And I tell people to come in and look around and see what you're drawn to. And all 3 of them picked carnelian.
Wow.
And I saw decidedly clear difference in their physical appearance upon holding a carnelian. The addict who was 6 months sober, he was fidgeting. He was very fidgety because I gave him a rose quartz initially, which is a calm, loving stone. He was flipping it around. And then I handed him a carnelian. And I'll tell you, he's the only one I didn't send around the house. I handed him the carnelian and he held it. And his face went from this to just utter peace. The wrinkle right here left his face. And I said, do you realize how different you are at this moment than you were 10 minutes ago? And he's like, yeah. And so I'll send them home with those stones. The 2 other girls wanted the stones and both were decidedly calmer. So I think that there's kind of a misinterpretation of it being a worker stone. It's a calming stone. Yes, it brings order, but the thing is, people who are suffering, it's generally anxiety based. Even if you turn it inwards and you're depressed, your thoughts are all over the place, and it's anxiety. And so if it's a stone that kind of brings it in order, it's not really order, it's calm. It takes that tree and makes it a big trunk so that you're not feeling like everything's out of control. And that's worked over and over for me. Many people got that stone and are like, wow. And I did have one person that was a workaholic, did not like the stone because it made him tired. And he wanted to be a workaholic. So
yeah, he needed to be busy all the time. He needed to be thinking all the time. So to have that is just the opposite of what he wanted to do.
Right. And he probably needed to calm down, but he didn't want to. So that's why he didn't like it. But, stones should be easy for people to dabble, play with, figure out what they're drawn to, and not be too judgy about it.